All right, guys, welcome to the Doghouse Podcast. We're going live. The second one of these, going to talk Georgia versus Bama. Huge matchup. Got Dylan from Dylan Sports, part of the Driving to the Top production. How are we doing today?
Other than maybe getting ready to deal with Hurricane Helene, doing pretty well, Trey.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm glad we don't have any of these non-conference games for a while where where Ole Miss can play Cupcake City or Alabama can play Panera Bread. It's time to put on your big boy pants because it's conference season.
It is. Huge matchup. Number 2, Georgia on the road against Alabama. Number 4, Georgia looks like currently still a 2-point favorite. But Georgia's got a brutal schedule. Not this one. We got to get past them. Then we got to go at Texas. Got to go at Ole Miss and Tennessee. So if we can go two out of 2 for those, I'll be happy. 10-2 should be able to make the playoffs. But man, we lose three or 4 of those, we're not going to make the playoffs. So we'll see.
What, you're saying 9-3 is getting? Wait, you're saying 10-2 is automatically getting you in the playoff?
Yeah. 10-2, you'll probably get 6 or 7 seeds, especially with the rankings. That's what I'm hoping. 10-2 will get you in there like Missouri last year. Get your probably 6, 7 seed.
So wait, if Georgia goes 10-2, let us say they lose hypothetically at Alabama, at Texas. So who would Georgia be behind? Well, the SEC champ, the Big Ten champ, the ACC champ, the Big 12 champ.
Mm-hmm. Here's what I wouldn't mind doing is skip the SEC championship game. It's not as irrelevant, and go 10-2 and slide in there like 6 or 7 seed. Potentially got a chance to get in the first round playoff game at home.
True, and you don't have to play that extra game. Well, you have to play an extra game, but you don't have to play the extra game before the extra game.
That's right. And then hopefully you'll get a favorable matchup if you get a home game. I mean, it might be a little cooler, a little cold in Georgia, or Athens, but you're not going to play Ohio State or Michigan. It might be snowing 20 degrees.
Or raining in Eugene, right?
That's right. Here it is, looking at if you can see that college football rankings. I mean, we could talk a little hypothetical. Texas doesn't really play a lot of people. Alabama and Tennessee's got to play each other, so that'll be a loss between them. Georgia's got to play. I mean, look at it. You got number 6, number 5, number 4, and number 1 you got to play. 3 of them on the road. So that's why I'm hoping 10-2, I'd be happy. Of course, 11-1, 12-0, but I don't see it.
I mean, have you seen Florida's schedule this year?
Brutal, man. He's getting fired. The question is when, not if.
Might be. I mean, are the Gators on bye this week and then play UCF next week, right?
Good. Let me see. Good question. I can look that up real quick. They need all the help they can get. 2-2, they beat a bad Mississippi State school.
Oh, gosh. Yeah.
Let's see. Full schedule. Yeah, it looks like they're on a bye till October 5th. They got UCF with Gus Malzahn is pretty good this year. At Tennessee, that'll be a loss. Hell, Kentucky might beat them. They're pretty good. I mean, look at that. I mean, maybe 3-4 wins, maybe. They can probably beat Florida State. That's going to be the toilet bowl, but they might not have a coach by then.
Neither might not have a coach.
Yeah.
I mean, because Florida State finally got in the win column this week. Well, last week.
That's right.
So
yeah, go ahead, Dylan. Go
ahead. How many Jordan? I mean, we've seen Jordan, Alabama in Atlanta with some regular season game, but where does this rank for you in terms of importance?
Well, since Nick Saban's no longer there, and he was, everybody knows Kirby's 1-5 against him, but I think they really need to win this just to kind of get the monkey off their back. And if you lose to Caleb DeBoer, first-year coach at Alabama, I mean, this thing's going to haunt you. Because Alabama fans, that's all I got to say is 1-5. Kirby can't win the big game. You only got Nick Saban once. That's why it would really be good to to get Kalen DeBoer. Also, he is a great coach. He's won on different levels. I mean, he played for the national title last year with Washington, but I think this is a different beast playing in the SEC. But we'll see. But this is a very important game. This is a very important game for Kirby to get the monkey off his back, in my opinion.
And it's weird. It's weird because the one game you won was the national title game where literally Alabama ran out of receivers.
Yep, they can say that, but it happened. But also last year we had an injured Lad McConkey and Brock Bowers. They played, but you can tell they weren't at full strength. So there's always that too. I think if you had both of those guys healthy last year, you beat Bama because they only beat us by 3, to be honest. But injuries are a part of it, and, didn't get it done, but we got it done in 2021.
Yeah, got done. I mean, also it seems like some players or teams have bad matchups. Like Tom Brady could never win in Denver. Peyton Manning could never win in Foxborough. Aaron Rodgers still can't beat the San Francisco 49ers.
Yeah. Also, with the Young Bucks, it looks like Josh Allen can't beat Mahomes in the playoffs, right? Was he 0-3? But he can beat him in the regular season.
Somebody explain. Well, yeah, because the Kansas City Chiefs are the New England Patriots of this era.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Speaking of injuries, Georgia's got a key injury on the O-line with Tate Ratledge. Am I saying his name right?
Yeah, Tate Ratledge. He's got a sprained MCL and he had an ankle. He had the tightrope surgery. I mean, he's going to be out. I mean, we might get him back late October, but it was looking like, I don't know, well in November. He's going to be out for a while, but got Michael Morris, who's a 4-star. He has some experience, but definitely a blow. He's probably maybe our best O-lineman, so that's going to be tough as well. Tough loss.
Yeah, I mean, Ratledge definitely looking like a pro in the O-line. I mean,
yes.
And, Brian Denny Stadium's going to make it a lot extra loud.
It is. Hey, little known fact too. So Georgia, even though this is in the series, Georgia's actually won 2 out of the last 3 in Tuscaloosa. We lost the COVID year. We were actually up at halftime, then got kind of blown out. But we won in 2007 and 2002 or 3 against in Tuscaloosa. So we don't play them a lot on the road. But even though Bama fans are going to go, the all-time series is 43-26. Kirby's 1-5, but we have had some success there. It's not like it's impossible.
I mean, looking at the quarterbacks in this game, I mean, I think most people would consider Carson Beck one of the top quarterbacks in the country. I mean, it seemed like Beck struggled a little bit in Kentucky. I mean,
yes,
which I don't know what it is, but Georgia never does well. It's first SEC road opener every year.
That's right. Yeah, they've always struggled in Kentucky, even when we won the two national titles, or the one like 2 years ago. We only scored 16-6. 2020 was 14-3. So something about Lexington. I don't know if it's Mark Stoops knows how to match up with Kirby. I'm not sure what it is, but always struggle against them. I know a lot of Georgia fans are really, really nervous about this game because they don't know what to expect. But he had 2 weeks to prepare. Kirby's got we were looking at a record. When he's had over a week to prepare, he's 16-2 since 2018 after a bye and over a week to prepare. So I think he's going to have the boys ready to go. But we'll see. I'm not really quite sure about Kalen DeBoer in the matchup. It's the first time going against him. So it'll be interesting. But Jalen Milroe, everybody's been calling him Milroy, or anyway, is explosive. He's like a running back. I mean, you really got to watch him. He's got a great deep ball. If you had to get nitpicky, underneath, he struggles a little bit. So Georgia has to contain him and pressure him or Georgia's going to be running after him all night. He gave problems to Georgia last year. Georgia losing by 3. So, and this Ryan Williams kid's supposed to be a phenom. They had
Did you see him against Wisconsin? Ooh, wow.
He is. So I talked to the Bama guy, Alex Taylor from the Bama Factor, and he's comparing him to Vontae Smith. Says he's just like him. So we'll see.
Maybe even a touch faster.
And it's crazy that he's 17. He's so young, you know.
I was in that. Yeah, thankfully, no, never mind.
Hey, we got Chris looking at the live here. Go Dogs! Appreciate you joining the podcast with the video. Give you a Go Dogs back. Hopefully, he's a Georgia fan.
Is it weird not having Nick Saban coach this game because
It is. I mean, he's the GOAT for sure. 7 national titles. He was the kryptonite for Kirby and Georgia. Broke our hearts many times, but I know he got older. I was really surprised when he did it. I even said it last year. I thought he had 2 or 3 more seasons, but I think the NIL and the transfer portal and the way some of the kids kind of react after some of the games kind of just annoyed him. He's like, I'm done. I've done a lot. And, it looks like he's pretty happy and stress-free on game day. But it is weird not having him there. I mean, you got to. A lot of people might have to look up who Kalen DeBoer is. Who's his Alabama coach again? But much respect, Nick Saban. But as a Georgia fan, I'm glad he's not there anymore. At least we got him one time. But we'll see.
I mean, I do have a couple friends who did games for SEC on CBS forever, and Nick seemed different. He seemed more happy. I've got a feeling it was like the Coach K situation where he's like transfer portal, NIL, and eventually Alabama's run wouldn't have ended, but it might not have been as dominant because we saw last year where Michigan was clearly the better team against Alabama and Pasadena. And every year Alabama loses guys, whether to another school or the NFL.
Yeah, it is. Completely agree. And I just think the whole landscape and everything, and he was used to getting the cream of the crop, the top recruits. And I think with NIL, it's been kind of scattered across everybody. Because, for a while there, he'd have 3, 4, 5 years of number 1 recruiting classes, and he would just stock players. And I think even losing Kirby, Kirby had beaten him recently on the recruiting trail with some guys. Like Kirby last year had number 1 recruiting class. So I think the landscape had changed and probably got a little burnout too, being 72 is how old he is. It's just hard to have that grind all the time. But I like him on game day. He's definitely cracking jokes, and I think he rolls his eyes at Pat McAfee all the thing. He's like, man, what's this crazy guy doing? But.
Yeah, but how do you think Kalen DeBoer matters? Because defense mind coach and Kirby Smart now, an offense mind coach and Kalen DeBoer, but a darn good one.
Yeah, I think he was a good hire. He's won on different levels, which is good. But, he's definitely got to change. Like, I think he wore a hoodie to the game. Nick Saban's usually really buttoned up. I read other players have podcasts. He's like letting the media. So he's more like kind of loose, which could be a good thing. But I kind of want to see what this defense looks like because they haven't really been tested yet. Got some questions on the back end and secondary. I think they got a good D-line. But I kind of want to see how they match up. And also scheme-wise and how he makes adjustments because, Nick Saban was the man on second half adjustments. You'd hang around the first half and then he'll just come out with the guillotine, drop the hammer on me. So I kind of want to see how he'll have second half adjustments. But Georgia's got to try to hang around in this game. They can't get behind. I don't think they're built to come from behind. So we got to try to hang around and try to stay up with them.
You think the Bulldogs would have watched more Alabama tape this year or Washington tape last year?
I think with Milroy, they're going to change up the way they did the SEC championship game because they did this thing where they spied with 2 guys. So they're going to change the scheme up where they need to. And then I think they're going to watch how a lot of 3 games so far, the sample size. But I do think he probably would go back and maybe look at some of the games against Michael Penix and Kirby, and his defensive staff to see how maybe they set up some of the plays, over last year. So definitely they probably looked at that as well.
Although Penix was really more pocket passing, Milroe could just whoop, 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 whoop.
Yeah, he's a bona fide running back. So I mean, you got to really watch him. I was like 4'4". He's built like what 220. So I do want to ask you this because I have wondered. So great talent. Do you think this will transfer over to the NFL? Could you see Milroy being a great NFL quarterback, or is it more or less he'll be like a bona fide running back? Because you gotta make all the throws. Or these defenses are so good in the NFL, they're running down. He'll be like another Cam Newton or something.
I don't know if Milroe's like Cam Newton. He could be. I mean, I don't know. I mean, Jane Daniels looked pretty sharp the other night against the Bengals. I mean, we know what
Yeah,
Lamar can do.
yeah,
Seems like if you don't have a mobile quarterback, you're in trouble now.
yeah. Oh yeah. So we'll see.
And now we flip it from Alabama's offense to Georgia's offense. I mean, I think Carson Beck going into this year was the best quarterback in the country. Now, I
Yeah.
do have problems with Georgia's offense. It's really talented, but Lane McConkey's a rookie with the Chargers. Brock Bowers a rookie with the Raiders.
That's right.
And we saw Georgia's offense really not do well in Lexington. And even the first half against Clemson was 7-3 at halftime.
Yeah, they've really struggled. If you really look at it, they've only looked good for one half against Clemson. So they come out slow. Can't do that on Saturday against Alabama. If not, it'll be a long night. But Carson Beck has the tools. But what we're questioning is they've been getting beat on the O-line, and they're supposed to have a good offensive line. So I think they have to try to clean that up in the trenches. But they got a good running back with Trevor Etienne. Nate Frazier is a freshman. He's really explosive. Got to get some of the wide receivers going. Got to get Dominique Lovett, Dylan Bell, also Kobe Young, transfer from Miami. He looks really good. Also, I was reading today, he hadn't played that much, but he caught one touchdown. They got one guy that got mono, London Humphreys, so he's going to be out of the game. I haven't heard the word mono in forever. I figured it'd be COVID or something, but anyway, supposedly he caught that, and he's going to miss the game. So there's one less player. He didn't play a lot, but I mean, you could sneak him in there and maybe give him a couple routes. Arian Smith is another one to watch. He's very explosive. He's caught some balls this year. But we'll see. Got to get the tight ends going too.
Well, yeah, it seems like Georgia and Michigan are like tight end U. Like we know the wide receiver U's. We don't have to explain that. But like Georgia, Iowa,
Yeah.
Michigan, Penn State, or you get your tight ends.
It is. We got Todd Hartley. He's probably one of the best recruiters in the nation. So they've just been stockpiling tight ends. So they've been doing very well. Darnell Washington for the Steelers. I think he caught a touchdown the other day. So they got some guys at tight end for sure. We just got to get them going. Oscar Delp's got to do something. Lawson Lucky. Those are two names that really need to catch some balls or at least do some pass blocking downfield.
Is there anybody who Carson Beck reminds you of, whether it be in college or the NFL?
Mm-hmm. It's a good question. I'm gonna just throw a name. Just he's older, but maybe some of his mannerisms and maybe the way he throws it. I'm gonna say I don't know if this is a criticism or I don't know if this is a compliment or not, but maybe like a Joe Flacco or something. Can make all the throws, strong arm, not very mobile. Maybe he's a little more mobile than Flacco because Carson Beck can kind of pull it down and throw it. But I'm gonna say something like that because they're both. I think Flacco's probably a couple inches taller, but they can make all the throws in the pocket. Not very mobile, but more that pro style.
Flacco might have been a little more mobile in his younger days with the Ravens.
Yeah, I agree. Hopefully we're talking about a prime Flacco here. Even though he looked pretty good with the Browns, was it last year or a year or two ago? He looked pretty good, right?
Last year. The only problem was Joe Flacco couldn't move in the pocket. Every time the offensive line would collapse, he'd end up on his touch.
Yeah. But don't anybody out there comment me or whatever, and I'm comparing Carson Beck to Flacco. That's just what came off the top of my head. I had to think about it.
Hey, I mean, if you watch Joe Flacco Delaware tape, it wasn't that bad.
Yeah. The fighting blue hens, right?
Yep. I mean, week 4. I mean, is this a must-win game for either team, or could we see this matchup 2-3 other times this year?
That's what somebody was saying. 3 times would be a lot. I could see maybe SEC championship game or in the playoffs, but 3 times I don't know how you do that. It's hard to beat a team twice, much less 3 times. The way I said earlier, I just want to split to be realistic. Like you lose 3 out of 4, and I want to stay healthy coming out of this game because we can't have a lot of injuries. I mean, this is a marathon this year, and it's added games with the 12-team playoff. So I wouldn't say must win. But I always said earlier in the year, you got to win this one or Texas, and then you got to try to split Ole Miss or Tennessee. I'm not sure about Ole Miss yet because they've played Sisters of the Poor, School of the Blind. I mean, they haven't played a Pulse. They haven't played a Pulse yet. So until they play, I actually think they have. I want to see. This is going to be interesting. Kentucky. They play Kentucky, who Kentucky is quietly a top 10 defense. If you go and look at their stats, and they played Georgia, held them 13 points. So they actually have a defense now. If Ole Miss comes out and hangs about 40 or 50 on them, I'll be a believer. But that'll be an interesting matchup just because they're playing defense.
You really think Kentucky's offense is that strong when they punted in with 3 minutes left?
I didn't say that they didn't have a strong. I don't think they have the best offense, but I just kind of think they got a legit defense. They got a good front seven to cause problems.
Yeah,
more or less. I could see it being. I'm gonna throw a score. I could see it being 30-14. Ole Miss hanging around. But if it's like 49-7, 49-10, then I'll believe because I think this is a legit team. Even though, everybody's going to be like, well, South Carolina blew out Kentucky at Kentucky 31-6. But, I mean, we'll see. But some of these teams haven't been tested yet. I mean, as you know, the competition, when you get in a good game, makes a difference. You could even say this for Alabama. I'm just being honest here. Have they played anybody with a pulse yet?
By the way, Ole Miss has played Furman, Middle Tennessee, Wake Forest, and Georgia Southern.
Exactly. And how good are those teams?
I don't know how good Wake Forest is, but I'm looking at Wake Forest now. Demon Deacons are 1-2.
There you
go. Furman 1-3. Middle Tennessee 1-3. And Georgia Southern 2-2.
Yeah. Georgia Southern is actually my old alumni. I actually went to Georgia Southern, but I grew up I'm a big Georgia fan. Hey, how about this, Dylan? Any surprising dark horse teams this year? Anybody that's impressed you? Like, all right, I didn't know they were going to be pretty good. Any teams kind of surprises this year in college football?
I mean, I thought Tennessee would be good with Nico. I didn't think Tennessee's defense would be this strong.
I agree. They are surprised. They have a legit. They might be a problem. They have a legit front seven. They're good. I agree. Because I used to be always that, hey, they have that great gimmicky offense, but defense is down. But they got defense. Respecting that.
The good news is Georgia's going to host the game. And the only time I remember Tennessee winning in Athens was the Hail Mary to Juwan Jennings.
Why you got to bring that up, man? Jeez.
Hey,
take a piece of the quarterback.
Hey, he scored 3 touchdowns for the Niners this past weekend.
Yeah.
And then
a team that's been surprising to me, and it was a good win. I think Illinois, about 4-0 with the fighting Brett Bielema's. They've actually been surprising to me. That was a good win last week over a good Nebraska team.
Yeah, especially against Dylan Raiola.
Dylan Raiola, a poor man's Pat Mahomes, trying to act like him. Looks just like him, got the hair, coming in with shades on. Can I call him that? Poor man's Patrick Mahomes?
You only just wanted him in Georgia, right?
That is another one. We wanted him there. He was actually he moved his family all the way across the nation and was at a school like less than 30 minutes and played his senior year, and he was all Dawg. And then all of a sudden NIL, I think they gave him a lot of money, and his dad's alumni there. But why are you moving all the way from where they at? California, or was it Seattle, or wherever they were, all the way across the country, and then you're going to – anyway, that whole thing was weird. But he knew he wasn't going to play this year because Carson Beck's the man. So you know how like these kids don't want to like go and stay on the team and develop chemistry and like wait their turn. So I want to play me now. So anyway,
It's
I
like
hope the best for him. Hope the best for him.
it's like Justin Fields when he played at Georgia. It's like Kirby Smart biggest mistake may have been letting Justin Fields lead.
Yeah, in his defense, great talent. But in his defense, like you just had Jake Fromm, who played for a national title, and he kind of was the leader of the team. It's kind of hard to bench him, and I don't know if he quite knew the plays and everything, but we'll see. Lost, yeah, but he ended up making the right decision because I wasn't a Stetson Bennett lover at all. I wanted to bench the kid. I wanted him to go with JT Daniels the whole time. But Kirby was right with Todd Monken, and they saw him every day at practice. So he got you 2 national titles. They probably need to put a statue of him somewhere up if they ever build one. But
Put him next to a Coach Julie, right?
They need, yeah, and then they need to do one of Herschel Walker too. Let's not talk politics, just football.
And not just of Herschel Walker running by everybody. How about the time when he like bowled over the Tennessee players in Knoxville?
That's right. My God, a freshman.
I mean that would have been sick. See, I'm like, how do we stop? And he could have won a Heisman all 3 years.
Good have you. He's legit. That was old school, man, when he got like 25, 30 carries a game, you know?
You mean 40?
Could have been, yeah. That's all they had.
Not a bad option. I mean,
I think there was one of those games the quarterback completed 1 pass and they still won. Again, it was against the top ranked team or whatever. Buck Bellew. He was like 1 of 12 or something. I mean, you knew what they were going to do every play. Couldn't stop him.
I mean, SEC wise, it feels like SEC and Big Ten again this year. I mean, Texas is great. Be honest, I don't know about you, but it's hard to bench Quinn Hughes, but it might be hard to bench Arch Manning with how he's playing.
Oh, if he's quite ready yet, I would, when he is ready, like at least start him. But if he struggles, I would have a short leash because he was doing fairly well and they were undefeated before that. He couldn't help with the injury. It just kind of depends. Plus, I heard like Arch Manning. I mean, he looked okay last week, but not like great. Didn't blow your hair back. And let's see how he does. I mean, that's another team. They haven't played a Pulse yet.
Well, they played Michigan.
That is true. That was a good one. But the rest of them, UL Monroe, UTSA, Colorado State, they're going to blast. They're going to blast Mississippi State, and then Oklahoma didn't look that great against Tennessee, and they got a quarterback problem.
Yeah.
And then you got Georgia coming to town. That'd be another tough one.
How about that October 12th, October 19th? You've got all LSU, Ole Miss, LSU, Ohio State, Oregon, Oklahoma, Texas, and Dallas. I think there's one other game. Penn State, USC, and then the next week it's Tennessee, Alabama, Tennessee, Georgia, Texas.
I know. You know what that means? Don't call me or don't bother me or text me or ask me to do anything those days. That's what that means.
Yeah, that's like nope.
Yep.
Get me like 5 bags of potato chips, chicken wings, and you do whatever.
That's right.
And then,
all right, Dylan, we're gonna put you on the hot seat. We're gonna put you on the spotlight here. Make your pick and your prediction. Georgia, Alabama, no bias here. Just who would you pick? I know you're a neutral fan.
I know Alabama's a dog for the first time since the George W. Bush era, but the Tide. I think with everything happening off our coast now, I think the Tide will reign supreme in Kalen DeBoer's first SEC game.
It's going to be a close one, or what's your score prediction?
27-24.
Why you gotta do the same one from last year? Come on, that's the same. You gonna break our hearts again?
I'm boring, Trey. I keep things exciting. I don't want blowouts. I don't want 45-10 every single game. Trust me, as a Jag fan, I saw what happened to poor little kitty cats 2 nights ago on Monday Night Football.
Right. Well, if you check out my podcast, we had just released. Check it out. My prediction is 34-31. The reason why I picked this, the last 3 times in Tuscaloosa that they lost 3 times, only 3 times since 2015. I believe teams put up 45, 43, and 34. Texas put up 34 last year, beat them by 10. So you have to get to 30. So that's why I'm picking 34-31. And when Georgia beat them in 2021, they scored 33. So you got to the road or the goal to the first team to get 33, or I'm sorry, plus 30 or 30 is who I think is going to win.
I mean, I think this game's the first wow game of the year. It's the first you've got to watch this game because these 2 teams could be playing a couple more times. Once this weekend, maybe once in Atlanta. Heck, maybe twice more in Atlanta with how the season could set up.
Yeah. We'll see.
Although, be honest, Georgia fans would love. Here's what Georgia fans would love. You win on Saturday, you go 11-1, 12-0, win the SEC, get a bye, and then you play your quarterfinal game in Atlanta.
Okay, I love that.
You don't even need an airplane, and then you play the semifinal game in, I would guess, Miami.
I think Alabama wants the same. I think they call it.
Wait a minute. And then, wait a minute. Could you actually play the quarterfinal game in Atlanta because the Natty's in Atlanta this year?
Yeah, I haven't looked at the whole playoff schedule. It's confusing to me. So
the semifinal games would be Miami and Arlington.
Could be. I still need to process the whole schedule.
Hold on. Playoff. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out everything because the Natty's at the Mercedes-Benz. Yeah, wait a minute. No, that's not what I want. Darn you. Okay, there it is. Playoff, first round, whatever. Playoff. Then the quarterfinal games would be Glendale, Atlanta, Pasadena, and New Orleans.
Definitely don't want to go to any of those West Coast because that's tough to travel back. We did win the Rose Bowl that time against Oklahoma, so that was good.
And then you ran out of gas against Tua.
Yeah, you got to bring that one up, and then the fact that Saban had the stones to put 2 in after Jalen Hurts was struggling. We had him 13-0 anyway. Yeah, tough one. That's all I'll say.
Yeah, freshman the freshman in that game.
Devontae Smith. And now you got 2 of the dudes on the Eagles.
Yeah, one of them's in concussion protocol.
Yeah, I got him on my fantasy team. We'll see if he's okay this week or he's got to sit out a week.
I've got Jalen Hurts on my guillotine team.
Nice. Hey, speaking of that, Dylan, what's up with the Jags, man?
Oh,
what's up with Trevor Lawrence this year?
He pooped his pants on Monday night.
You think that's one of those he got paid and he's like, yeah, I'm good. He's going to hang around.
I mean, maybe part of Trevor's problem is that he played at Clemson, so he got to beat up on crappy competition and only had to play, Ohio State, Alabama once.
Right.
I don't know, because I didn't think Trevor looked that bad. And maybe part of Trevor's problem is he's not into football like other guys. Like, I think Tom Brady would kill you to win a game. Peyton Manning would rip off your head. I don't know if Trevor's that way.
Yeah.
I know Mahomes is that way.
Yeah. So you're saying he didn't have that competitive edge, huh?
Maybe.
Right.
And that's coming from a Jag fan. I mean, I don't know if you could see it. See?
There it is. I got it, yeah.
It's frustrating when your team stinks every week. I mean, Trevor Lawrence hasn't won a game. I mean, since week 12 against the Texans last year. Arch Manning's won more games for Texans than Trevor Lawrence has done since December.
The Jags 0-3?
Yes, and we're going to Houston this weekend, and the Texans are going to be mad because the Vikings kicked their butt.
But I'll admit, Trevor Lawrence looked pretty good. He pushed Mahomes KC, what, 2 years ago? Was that 2 years ago?
Yeah.
There you go.
Although I'm amazed that Matthew Stafford came back to beat the Niners. I mean, the Rams had no business winning the game.
Yeah. I mean, I like the Falcons and the Panthers, so what do I have to?
Oh, no. No.
Hold on. As a neutral fan, was that not PI on Sunday night?
It was 1,000% PI.
That could have been first and goal. I'm not saying you give Mahomes the ball back with a little bit of time. I'm not saying they don't go down there and beat you, but it might have been a different game, you know?
And it's funny because the previous game we all saw the PI against the Chiefs. It's just wait.
Yeah.
New England, I mean, the Chiefs are becoming New England 2.0.
Yeah, they're getting a little home cooking.
And I think most of the NFL might be hating it.
Yeah.
They're
Plus, you got the Taylor Swift and Swifties, you know?
Oh, gosh. At least we didn't see on Sunday night. Although, to be honest with you, I think Travis Kelce's been drinking too much beer.
I think he took hey, can I say this? I think he took a little bit of a step back this year. What do you think so far, Travis Kelce?
Kelce's saving him for the playoffs.
I think that's what it is. Hey, load management.
Oh, gosh, not this. This isn't the NBA.
I don't know. Could be saving them.
Like the Rob Gronkowski, like you would see Gronk have one or two of those games and then save it for the playoffs.
Yeah. He can turn it on when he wants.
Yeah, he'll turn it on like divisional weekend championship round. And I'm like, yeah, nobody can cover that guy.
Agreed. Any other questions, Dylan?
Nope, just stay safe from whatever this hurricane or rain will be, and because it could potentially affect Charlotte with how fast this puppy will be moving the ball.
Yeah, appreciate it, man.
Who would think that a hurricane could hit Tallahassee, Atlanta, and Charlotte?
They're brutal. Yeah, I'm looking at the weather app here, looking like 75% on Thursday, 80% here in Charlotte, and sunny on Saturday. So,
and the Panthers play on Sunday.
Hey, we got the fighting Andy Daltons coming in 1-0.
Oh gosh. And Joe Burrow and the Bengals all 0-3 and licking their paws after getting Jaden Daniels on Monday night.
Isn't it crazy? There's some stat that rarely any teams make the playoffs ever start 0-3, and there's some crazy statistics like it's the ball's against it's against you.
Don't remind me, my Jags 0-3.
Okay. Hey, real quick, what would you do with Bryce Young? Would you trade bait or let him sit? Because they gave up a lot for him for the Panthers.
I would play him, but if I'm Bryce Young, I want out of Charlotte. I mean, they've got the worst owner in professional sports today.
Yeah, David Tepper's terrible.
I mean, David Tepper. I mean, if I don't know who's the worst starting quarterback. David Tepper makes Will Levis look like he's Josh Allen.
Good comparison. And real quick, Dylan, how do we follow your content? And
Big D Podcast. I host the Big D Podcast, Spunky Spectrum Sports, at Dylan S Sports One, and I'll probably be. I don't know what I'll be doing. I might be watching Hurricanes. I might be watching football. I might be who's on tomorrow night. I might be watching another one of Malik Never's catches.
yeah, I got him on one of my fantasy leagues too.
Got him on my dynasty team, and everybody's been wanting him, and I'm not trading him.
Yeah. Hey, would you start Devin Singletary tomorrow against a bad Cowboys run D? I'm thinking about starting him. Maybe a little flex. Everybody's like Matthew Berry and those guys are saying start him.
Who do you have?
Hey, you got a minute? I'll throw some. I got a couple of dilemmas.
Shoot.
Here, all right, here it is, real quick. Here's my money league. I got a money league and a free one. All right, so here's my squad. Here, I'll share my screen. Hey, anybody out there want to give some fantasy tips? I try to do the fantasy bros and everything. I'm trying to do the matchups, but it's a tough one. So I'm good at quarterback. Here it is. Pretty good quarterback, right? Hey, do you like the name of my team? Oh, my, Josh. All right, Josh Allen. So I got running back problems. So we got Connor looked pretty good first 2 weeks. Last week, a dud. Singletary's been rolling, and Cowboys are 32nd against the run right here, I guess. Also, man, my wideouts. Devontae's hurt. Tyreek Hill has nobody to throw to him. Would you bench him? Even though it's Tyreek. Brandon Robinson, James Cook.
I think I'd play Garrett Wilson.
But Wilson, man, everybody's saying that, but look who he's playing. You're going against first Patrick Surtain in Denver.
I don't care. You can't bench Garrett Wilson.
But he hadn't really done much. He finally caught one touchdown. If you look at his numbers, he hadn't really done much. I started him all three. See, look.
Garrett Wilson went.
He had 6, 5, and 9. That's it.
Yeah, but he had 11, 6, and 9 targets. So he had 26 targets.
I agree. But how about they're saying Surtain? And look what Denver's been doing to these teams. 10, 3, and 12.
I don't care.
So you're going all in on him?
I would play Garrett Wilson. Let me see you.
How about Tyreek Hill? Did you sit him? You have no idea who the quarterback is, but he's so good.
Devontae Smith will probably miss this weekend's game because he's in concussion protocol.
I need 2 tight ends. How about Terry McLaurin? He had a good game last week. And then some people are on Rome Doomsday.
I think I would probably switch out Devontae Smith for Garrett Wilson because Arizona's defense is bad. So I think you play Robinson. And then I think I would play
Would you play Tyreek Hill? Who's throwing to him, though, by the way? Boyle or Tyler Huntley?
I think Tyler Huntley. Tyler Huntley can't be any worse, right?
I mean, this is my number one pick. He looked great, and then Tua went out. Look, 22, 3, and 4. Come on, man. I know he's Tyreek Hill, but can you get it to him?
I don't know what you do. I don't know what I do.
Also, I think I like these running. Or I'm thinking about how about James Cook? Would you sit him because he's going against Baltimore? Great run D.
I don't know. That'd be one where I don't know. I mean, I'm not worried about facing Baltimore's run defense. I think in many ways it's a. I'm looking at. Is this half point or full point PPR?
Just standard.
Oh.
Standard, the OG.
Okay, let me see. No, I'm definitely playing Connor.
Yeah.
Definitely playing.
I like Singletary going against the Dallas. He actually did pretty good last week.
I actually would play James Cook and take out Devin Singletary. It might be. Wait. That's the guy I wanted. Got the wrong Miami quarterback as backup, and One of my leagues. There, got Tyler Huntley.
Is Huntley going to play? Huntley was actually decent for
Baltimore.
Ravens a couple years ago.
Yeah, I actually just got him in one of my dynasty leagues as a backup because Herbert might be iffy.
See what it's got on the fantasy here. Tim Boyle projected 15 points. Who is Tim Boyle?
Oh gosh, he was the Jets starting quarterback at some point last year.
Yeah, we'll see. I have to look at that as it gets closer. All right, Dylan. Appreciate it, man. Appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Hey, make sure to like, subscribe, share the podcast. Are you subscribed? I think you probably subscribed to him, right? Hey, we're on the road, man. We just surpassed 500 on the road to 1,000. We're trying to get there.
Nice.
There you go. Hey, go Dogs, man. Hopefully we can go down there and beat Bama, man. We'll see. It's gonna be tough.
Yeah. Yeah. Will it be off? Will it be roll tie?
War Eagle.
That's Auburn. Auburn, you hate Auburn.
The barn. Hell, Keith Reeser saying might get fired. He's struggling. They look bad. 5 turnovers last week.
And Auburn lost to Cal.
They did. And Arkansas beat them.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah. All right, Dylan. Have a good night, buddy.
You too. Stay safe.
All right, man. We'll have to do it again. See you.